Alright, hello and welcome everyone here to the final game of the evening for Starladder Season 11. It's Root Gaming going up against Pain Gaming. I'm Helium, rejoining me is Blaze. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Got some background baby rage, but hopefully that
That's
doesn't
nice.
affect the broadcast there. So we've got some nice NA versus SA Dota. We've been seeing some cool stuff from Root Gaming over the past few weeks, but honestly, going with these two stand-ins here, I'm not sure about their stability. Actually, the several stand-ins it looks like, but I
Yeah.
mean, obviously the tags is a factor there.
Static, I believe, he's a good manager to have because he's a great player and he's a good sub in when you need him. I think he's also managing Boreal Esports along with Root Gaming. Chicken MC, I mean, he's a fantastic mid player. He is not my biggest fan. I don't know why. He always tries to squeeze free tickets out of me. Like, let me join your lobby. I'm gonna co-cast. Like, I know you're not gonna co-cast, dude. Like, I can't let you do that. But he's a cool guy. I know we spent some time together in Montreal during LAN ETS, which they didn't manage to win. Tisk tisk. And I'm not sure who's the other actual member. Is it Big Bad Bird or Jaw? Or neither?
I mean, I'm like the rosters that I've been looking at are all out of date. Root Gaming has obviously changed quite a few times. Like, I mean, Tubby's not here. Tolera has been. That was like a month ago since I've seen him
Lycus
play.
as
So
well. I don't know. Is he off the roster? I thought he was the
he
captain still.
he was on the old roster, but that was 4 months ago when that was established. So heck if I know. Honestly, they've been changing a lot, so maybe they'll get something, maybe a full reshuffle. Maybe these stand-ins are
I mean, they've
actually
got some great
aspiring
stand-ins tonight,
to
so
join up the Root Gaming lineup. Who knows?
yeah, I guess trying them out. Trial by fire right now as we are into the real deal, Starladder 11. Vengeful Spirit Ogre, the first two picks here for Root Gaming, and a hero we haven't seen at all tonight. Death Prophet coming out with that second pick, and Skywrath. We saw Sunken for Leviathan put a really good performance on that hero. It gets picked up here first by Pain Gaming. And actually, Grent, XD, and VSW, two players that I do not recognize from Pain Gaming. Can you tell me
Grant,
anything about them, or same boat?
Grant is definitely a standard member there. I mean, there was a point where he was off the team, but it was very brief, and he went right back to it. As far as VSW, unless that's an alias, I actually don't know this guy, which is odd because he's the captain here. So he's drafting. So, yeah, I guess he's the sub-in, and he is going to be doing his best to get them the lineup that will work actively in the early game in particular. You can see with the Skywrath, the Death Prophet, they've got a lot of silence, so if they're okay with letting cast-oriented heroes through because they can just disable them in that capacity, and they've also got a lot of tempo behind them. Skywrath is very good in the early stages of the game. Death Prophet knocks down towers quickly, and if they can reinforce that with a little bit more AoE control, maybe look at a Tide, maybe look at just any kind of AoE stun, then they're going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, could definitely work in the Tide right now. Throw that in. Okay, well, no, not needed any longer. Tide will probably be going off lane for Pain Gaming. They throw it in there third. Now, Root Gaming, they've most likely got their two supports there. I mean, I like initially in the Ogre craze, we saw the hero creeping up in the mid lane, but it's pretty much not a thing. It's just that active roaming support along with the Venge. So, yeah, it looks like we'll hopefully, I'm really hoping it's going to be a carry Leshrac. I think it's ridiculous. Pulse Nova is just off the chain damage.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Has a lot of potential there. The Pulse Nova, I mean, it's not going to be amplified by anything outright, but just getting the setup stuns, the Magic Mist with a Fire Blast to set up the Split Earth gives you more time to deal that damage. So I'd love to see a Leshrac be a prime player here where he just invests a lot into mana and HP and survives. He is going to need a Yule Scepter here when he's up against the Skywrath. That's kind of unfortunate. Force or Yule's is the way you have to go there. But he still also needs to buy a BKB. That's the only reason that I
Or
don't...
BKB.
Well, I mean, I feel like you still have to get the Yules or the Force because of mobility issues. Like, it's still... Like, BKB is not going to save you against the Death Prophet damage. So, essentially, you need to have two big defensive items before you actually get rolling towards those hardcore, like Bloodstone, Aghanim Scepter, those kinds of things. So, as it stands right now, I feel he needs 2 out of the 3, Yules, Force, and BKB.
All right, and we'll look for the fourth on Pain Gaming. Still going to be looking for that safe lane hero. That can really, I guess, be anybody. I haven't really got to watch Pain Gaming play almost at all since their formation. I mean, I don't know. I've been all Southeast Asia for the last few months now. Cast that, sleep all day, wake up, and then there's no games on, so what are you going to do? Nothing to watch. But we'll see what they go for on the 4th pick. Some of the carries that were banned out and not available include potentially Wraith King, Lycan, Faceless Void, and Razor. They'll go for the Visage. So now, that always leads me towards the Drow Ranger as the pickup, but Root Gaming with one more ban could potentially deny that.
Yeah, I mean the players that I remember most, like making an impact in the more recent stage of the Root Gaming lineup. I know Scar is a really solid core player, but he played a little bit of support for them as well. Then of course there was Joik and Toxin who have been filling in a lot, and other than that, I'm in the dark as much as you are as far as the current state of Root Gaming, because I've been casting a lot of Chinese Dota, SEA Dota, some Europe, but NA Dota, I think, is the one weak point that I think both of us want to work on a little bit more here. But Pain Gaming, I've known these guys for a very long time. I cast them back in 2013, like February, like the early stages of 2013. Yeah. They were in one of the first major tournaments that I covered, and they haven't changed hardly at all. That might be to the aspect that there's only a handful of Brazilian professional players. It's a very difficult occupation to really rely on in that kind of region. But end of the day, they have brought a lot of strength and some really cool strats. And, I mean, hell, look at this draft. I mean, they've got so much nuke damage right now. You get hit by one spell, you get hit by 3 more, and you're dead instantly. It's going to be so hard for them to actually pull off a core Leshrac, if that is indeed their intention.
Indeed. And waiting for that 4th pick here at Leshrac. I mean, there's good pickoff potential here, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to require... Well, okay, we've seen when Pulse Nova gets online, like, Ogre and Leshrac will kill pretty much anybody. But there's a lot of heroes to deal with. There's silences from Death Prophet as well to sort of disrupt that. There's also the Ravage from Tidehunter. It might not be able to kill Tidehunter because of his Kraken shell. Stuns from birds. Who knows what. They probably need to, I guess, go for the off-laner right now. They're thinking long and hard about this, using up almost all of their reserve time on this one pick. So even they don't really know what they want to go for. It will be a Lich, which will maybe help fortify that mid lane or just go into the off lane. But really 4 potential supports, and really I feel like Lesh is the only one who can really go carry, maybe Vengeful Spirit as well.
I really don't know what they're trying to go for with this lineup here. I've seen the Lich just do absolute work in some games where I feel it shouldn't. Like, even up against like a Centaur Stampede, he's able to get like 6 or 7 bounces off with that ultimate, and that can completely destroy things. But that's more, I feel, again, a sign of the Lich's opponent rather than the Lich himself. And it really just comes down to how they actually make this work for them. I like Ice Armor against Death Prophet in general, but I just don't feel like he brings enough. They're not up against like a super hard farming carry. Like if you were up against a Spectre or something and you put that Lich towards the offlane, either in a single sense or a duo, then he's going to be subtracting a creep per wave away from that carry, and that's going to allow you to actually get that tempo advantage with that Lesh core. But in this case here, I mean, there's going to be a hero that is immune to like 99% of their spells, and they just only have magical nukes to deal with them. Like if the Lifestealer actually goes for like a couple of good mobility items, like the Sanjin Yasha to start himself off, and actually considers like a 3rd or 4th item BKB, they can't possibly bring him down because he's just going to have so much time where he's immune, and they don't have the Centaur option to kite anymore.
Yeah, Anti-Mage also getting dropped out there. So Pain Gaming, I mean, given the opportunity to go for the Drow, they don't. They'll go Lifestealer. Now Root Gaming. They've got these 4 like in-your-face supports, potential to really snowball out of control. I mean, there's a lot of damage there between Lich if he gets the early points into the Frost Blast, although we have seen some Lich just start to max Ice Armor, and that just never feels right. Like, I've never seen that just be like, oh, yep, that was the right skill build. Like, he got it. So we'll see what Static does. Your boy JC is going to be on that Spectre trying to take it late, potentially. I guess he's the fallback. We've seen Spectre build up to an urn and get involved in the fights early, and maybe that's what they need to get breaking that high grounds. But late game is always difficult. Like Tidehunter, he's got the potential for the Refresher, which is always devastating. Death Prophet as well, that ultimate, hard to deal with at most stages in the game, and she becomes tanky, hard to burst. Visage with the familiar split pushing, and Lifestealer. ADR, has he switched out of the mid lane? It looks like he'll play the core role, but maybe going safe with this the Lifestealer.
Yeah, 40 hours loves to jump into the safe lane carry role when he can, and that'll leave King RD to play his active mid heroes, the ones that get very tanky very quickly. And we've seen him play a lot of Brewmaster, this Death Prophet. It's not micro-oriented, but it's still going to be about the same idea about getting really beefy, going in aggressively, and having your team at your back. And Grant, in the meantime, is going to be going on that off lane. And yeah, we'll see how well he plays there. But it is going to, in fact, be a mid Ogre played by Chicken MC. So that is going to be clarifying the mystery of who's going to be supporting here. Mid Ogre, support Leshrac. And honestly, it's going to be about the Spectre as far as when they can actually take this game. Because like if you look at their win condition here, it's so difficult for Root to actually win. Like they don't have great push beyond the Leshrac. I mean, Bloodlust and the Vengeance Aura are great enhancers, but they don't naturally push beyond the Edict. And they're just going to be turtling it up for one hero to come online while the other 4 taper off. So the power curve is awkward. Pain's lineup seems really strong. So I think it just has to come down to the lanes. Go for this duo of Spectre plus Lich bottom and make some magic happen.
All right, well, I was informed here by Velanath on Twitter that there were actually 2 mid-ogres in Dream League today, so I said that it was something that happened quite a bit when the hero first got its surge in popularity after the buffs, but apparently something that is still happening. Chicken MC going to take up the torch, literally the torch on the ogre. Does he have a cosmetic on that? No. But Chicken MC in the middle lane here for Root. We got Jaw here on the Vengeful Spirit back into the NAC now. We've got the big bad bird playing the core Leshrac up there. He's a pretty cool guy. Always watches my cast, some of the smaller ones over there for Sivo, and he's always active in the chat. So big fan of his play. We've got Static on the Lich and your boy JC. So this is the duo offlane here, Spectre and Baga with an Invis to start things off. Not a lot of damage at level 1, but...
If this Lifestealer gets to go open wounds and they get to follow it up with the Arcane Bolts, this is going to be an easy first blood here.
Yeah.
They're actually choosing interesting targets. About Grave Chill on one, open wounds on the other, but it still might be enough damage. Right clicks are coming through. They need 2 more. They get not enough. The Sav plus the Stout Shield, he survives, and is due to complete miscommunication. They put their slows on completely different targets.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I thought for sure, like, open wounds with the Grave Chill as well. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
I actually thought they'd go open wounds and soul assumption because they can follow up 2 arcane bolts with a max soul assumption, but no matter the case, they flubbed it, and that's going to be an easy walk back home for your boy JC. Takes them off the lane for a bit, but it's a lot better than going down there.
I mean, that's still going to be the story. Like, he goes back to that lane, what are they going to do? They're going to go exactly the same thing. I guess they won't have the Invis rune there on Baga to get him like that close proximity without them without Root realizing it. But who knows? Like, what is this next rune going to be? Maybe it's a haste. Maybe we'll have another Invis up at 6 minutes. VSW though in some trouble. That's a big damage slow. Now the dagger coming through. They're going to look to try to get the kill. There's the open wounds rank 1 coming out once more. Going to stop your boy JC from chasing. ADR now fresh out of mana. I mean, that's a 110 mana spell on a hero with only 208 right now.
Yeah, so I honestly think it's fine for the Spectre to come right back down. Yes, he's up against a difficult lane when you just like look at the tri lane strictly, but with the Lich sacrificing and the fact that the pull has been blocked off for the first 2 minutes, it's actually really nice for them to just keep the Spectre in experience range, and she'll get that easy level 6. So she'll get a few CS here and there, but what happens next is the question. Now that the pull is unlocked, and with that 2-minute spawn, which means only 3 spawns were negated, will Baga be able to get the Creequilibrium back under control?
Yeah, probably he's got the pull through going down here. Will it succeed? Yeah, most definitely is going to succeed. Let's check out the middle lane, though. We've seen Ogre dominate some matchups where he just really wouldn't expect him to, and he is doing well. He's 9-5, although King RD or King Grand not having too much trouble either. He's 7-5, but with the nice rotation. I mean, Chicken MC is on a hero that can really help out anyone that rotates. Just stun, follow-up stun, ignite. Like, you probably got enough damage. Death Prophet, though, already pretty quick. Boots can come out here. He's got the money for it, just needs to buy it. Unless he doesn't have the bottle yet. Does he not? No, he didn't. He did go heavy investing in the early null tally, so looks like the bottle still has to come out.
Yep, we do have an issue with the Death Prophet auto attack, so maybe accounting for a CS or 2 here. Still a hero that can CS pretty well with just spells alone. But yeah, I'm curious how well Chicken MC is going to be able to pull ahead and how much he's going to be able to take advantage of the early multicast. He's going to get that level 6 a lot faster than a passive Ogre, And he could even still go for like a Tranquil Soul Ring build up after the bottle. Now, one of the two ogres in Dream League that you were talking about went for, instead of the kind of standard Aghanims as your first big item, he actually went for a Force Staff, which was instrumental in actually putting themselves in a good position in that game, being able to maneuver about very effectively. And I'm curious if that's the ticket here, is just getting your Spectre in the position he wants to be, pulling him out when he's in a bad spot, pushing him in when he needs to deal more damage, and then following it up with all these big spellcast. For now, we're seeing a Leshrac build up, a 1-2-0 build, so he's going to be going for some Edict push, but I don't think that Grunt's going to give this tower up without a fight. Like, he's going to stick around. He's got still a Tango and Sav left, and the Boots advantage over the Leshrac. Oh no, it's actually evened up, but he still is only 5 movement speed behind. In either case, yeah, I really don't see this tide going down easy, and when he does, he'll be back to defend this tower in a short time span. Like, they don't lose this tower nearly as fast as a normal Leshrac lineup would take it from them.
Yeah, and the Ancient's not blocked out either, so potential to stack them here in 2 seconds. No one's around, but it's something maybe we see King Garan do if he's going up for a rune, or even the Tide himself. If the wave is pushed out and up near that tower, he'll probably just go back, stack the Ancients, and come to them later, which basically means he'll have really good farm, even if the offlane is somewhat difficult. But honestly, it has not been difficult. Like, he's going 1v2. He's got 11 CS. He's the second highest level in the game right now. A bunch of level 3s. The mids, you're up to level 4 if you're in the mid lane. But Grant's, I mean, Tidehunter is going to have a really big impact. And going back to the Force on Ogre, I really like it. Like, anyone gets opened wounds, it just allows you to kite ADR around a little bit more by forcing whoever is the open wounds target just further away. Maybe forcing the Lifestealer to make that decision. Like, do I go in further for this? And maybe he overextends.
Just kind of one of those weaknesses of 2-1-2 that Root brought to the table here is they're not really winning either of the side lanes here. Like, the mid lane, it's going fine, 12-6 over 8-5 against the Death Prophet. But the bottom lane here is just Spectre getting experience and maybe actually dying here if she's not careful. Fortunately, he's playing on the eastern part of the lane. Otherwise, he would be dead already. Like, if he's over here, that's a dead Spectre. But that minor difference in positioning, he should be able to get out in time with the help of that dagger. We'll see.
Yeah, obviously you can also just book it out this way through the tree line, but still holding a second skill point. Like, maybe if they get aggressive, if someone rotates to help him, your boy JC finds a kill with the Desolate, or if he is in trouble, he'll go ahead and skill up the Dispersion, as Garant in a little bit of trouble up top, but he'll back off. There was an Edict used to harass him, so that means that the Leshrac was off the farming wave, at least a little bit. But here's the smoke up. This is Jaw looking to rotate down. 4-minute runes to spawn. It's a bounty rune bottom. Up top, Death Prophet already picked up the double damage. And you got to expect. I mean, I guess Jaw's either wrapping top, but I feel like they're not going to kill that Tide. And yeah, he'll go down towards the middle lane.
Your boy JC will be able to walk away here. We'll have to tango out after the fact, but just hides in the trees for now. And they just, yeah, they aren't in the position to actually break him down even at nighttime. They go in as best they can, but he's safe and sound for the moment. Will actually not get himself out. Okay,
he's got the dagger if he really wants to use it, because he can stick up. Yeah, he will. Yeah. That's some efficiency right there. Wrong tree. A little bit awkward.
When you consider the mistake of the wrong target to slow from Pain, I guess it evens out. Wrong tree, wrong hero. Little flubs happen. It's Dota 2. It's a game where mistakes, although critical, happen all the time.
Did they make a sequel to Flubber?
I hope not.
Yeah, I also hope not, but I was just curious there. I just really wanted to work Flubber 2 into the equation, but can't do so.
One Flubber for kids, I see it fine. Flubber 2, adding in what sequels do to any kind of cinematographical exposition, yeah, I think that would just be the worst thing of all time.
Yeah, it does sound pretty awful. Could be in some trouble. Grant goes very aggressive to find the kill here. Will actually now trade out with his life. He'll go down. Jaw's going to draw the first blood there. He was smoking towards the middle lane. And while the smoke wasn't successful, he kind of just walked around and did nothing. It made Ty feel really strong. He's like, all right, Venge is gone. I'm 1v1. I'm going to man up on Lesh. And he ends up overextending. Jaw will rotate back, get the first blood. But now we see your boy JC and Static. I thought they were going to rotate. I was like, yes, this is a Spectre rotate at 6 minutes into the game. But no. They'll just go ahead and bring down, get their creep back, or the creep that they want to kill back. Static, though, in trouble. This is the open wounds. He can do nothing but run, try to throw out some attacks, but he will fall. Skywrath Mage gets the kill there. And that will put Pain Gaming on the board now 1-1.
They have to get so much out of this Leshrac if they're going to be able to pull through to the mid game here. Tide did pop his Ravage in that situation, but I mean that's a minor cooldown at this stage compared to what it could be. And he actually did cancel a TP, so that was a little bit awkward to waste that 100 gold. But end of the day, Leshrac needs to get a follow-up stun after this Magic Missile, needs to bring down Grant. They're actually just doing the damage since they know the Kraken Shield will break off the stun, and it is going to be enough. I mean, we talked about that Pulse Nova buff a ton in the draft, but it's so different to see it firsthand, just how much damage they can do to this hero who generally looks tanky, but a lot of that is to the auto attack, which Leshrac does not care about.
717 damage getting pulsed out of that Lesh, to be exact. And as to your questions about the TP, it was Chicken MC that picked up a haste, and he was running down King Grand, so the TP was coming out to help out the middle lane. But that TP was canceled, you were saying? By an enemy?
Yeah. He saw that he was going to get to the Fog of War, that they weren't worried about another multicast coming through. Death Prophet has had a hard time this lane, but I mean, there's no kills happening without a second person coming in, and now actually putting some harassment right up against the Ogre himself. So, I mean, King RD, he'll have a slow roll, but actually
the multi!
won't be able to save the Skyrath.
That'll do it. He gets it, Chicken MC. And level 7 Death Prophets, getting that Crypt Swarm up. I mean, this is
HP regen, dude. 4.0 per second.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so deceptive how low he looks compared to how tanky he actually is.
Yeah, and King Grand, no exorcism. Maybe could have just went for the chase there if he had it, but as is kind of standard now, just 404. But bottom lane static, open wounds. Baga's there as well. Soul Assumption, the artillery cannon. Visage. Although, honestly, a new artillery cannon on the block. Oracle. Thank God. Not a captain's mode. Probably won't be for a long time.
Yeah, that's just... I mean, the only way that hero isn't extremely broken is in the wrong hands. If you're good with that hero, you'll be able to just pretty much do anything you want. That is...
Up top.
He's absolutely absurd.
Big Bad Bird. A little bit of trouble. He's got that Pulse Nova putting out a lot of damage. He lands the stun. He gets them both. The double kill here for the Big Bad Bird. Living up to his name. He is a big and bad. Wow. He gets the double kill. Actually, I think he only got one in the Split Earth. It's only rank 1. He maxes out Edict and Pulse Nova. And they did use the Ravage, yes. Good eye. Paul, or now multicast now on the ADR in the bottom lane. He moves away from the creep. He has Infest. I feel like this isn't the right move. He's so far away, he can't get close to the creep. And they'll bring him down. It's 6-2 now after Root really swing things in their favor. Big plays by the Leshrac. Questionable plays by ADR, but would have been pretty hard to escape that gank anyways.
No matter the case, Leshrac's just going to farm up this stack here on the eastern side of the Dire jungle, and he's going to get his Rod of Atos off of that. Like, he's looking so damn good. He's mid-game aggressively.
VSW. He feels like he needs to do something. He's the captain. He drafted up this lineup. He's like, I'm going to get my team back in the game. Tries to go for the solo kill on your boy JC, and he's met by 3 TPs into the middle lane. Make 4 heroes there now. Really, actually, all 5 as Avenger retreats. And he'll go down 7-2 right now. Root Gaming in a pretty commanding position. Already 2,000 plus gold, 3,000 experience ahead. Just under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still astounded by that gank up top. It was a 2v1. They commit the Ravage, and Leshrac nearly doubles their damage. He did 1,500 damage to them. And the reason why he's able to pull that off is not just his items that, you know, the Tranquil Boots gives him some durability, the Magic Stick, he can get a surprising amount of HP. It's because the Skyrath didn't skill Silence. He's 2-1-0. You don't silence a Leshrac, then you're setting yourself up to die. Speaking of, up top, Grant tries the Anchor Smash, but that doesn't stop the lightning. Zap! And the fishy will fry.
He really does. Tidehunter turning into, well, I guess there's lightning, so he's not really sushi. He is cooked. It's just fish. Fried fish. They'll try to push down the tower. The Diabolical Edict is back off of cooldown, and that means the tower... they're going to have to throw out the Fortify. The creep come in. That'll eat up some of the Edict damage, and it looks like the tower will maybe live to attack another day, but it's going to be going down pretty soon. Middle lane now, we got Chicken MC in a little bit of trouble. Arcane Bolt's coming in. Now we've got the Silence level 4, so VSW can potentially right his wrongs now that he has the Ancient Seal, but... That's a pretty big blunder up in the top lane. A little more so than your boy JC eating the wrong tree.
I feel there's very few situations where you don't want at least a 1-1-1 on the Skyrath, and this is the opposite of that. This is a situation where you absolutely have to have it. They lose the tower up top. Can they turn it around against Big Bad Bird? They will get the open wounds and the rage off, and he is taking a lot of damage right here. The Atos not going to save him as the last right click comes in from the Lifestealer. Phase Boots, the Orb of Venom. He stays on target, and he brings it home. Mid lane, though, the Exorcism popped off on Chicken MC. A lot of armor.
The ult there? Yes.
Wow.
Wow, Chicken MC narrowly living, but Static comes in with the big burst damage, Frost Blast, and Chain Frost. And I mean, we're calling it out, like, whatever, he uses Atos, but let's remember, that was pre-11 minutes. Leshrac already has an Atos, and now he's working towards, well, he finishes the Magic Wand, he's got an Ogre Club. I mean, it could be either BKB or Aghanim Scepter, but I would think BKB first, and then maybe into the Ags.
Yeah, I think that's a really good build up here. He's already solved his mana HP issues mildly with his Atos. It also has an incredible active that just allows him to destroy anybody but the Lifestealer. But once he gets that BKB up, then he can actually fight against not just one person, but 3 or 4. We're going to see down bottom, they will already initiate with the Dagger Atos, and even with the Grave Chill movement speed increase, Baga's still going to get stunned out. In the mid-jungle, it's going to be 40R, actually looking at what the Lich is up to. Static will have to back off, but I mean, 40R is just kind of wasting his time not farming, and he is actually going to really need items this game. Like, he needs, I think, 3 items to feel confident against this Leshrac. He needs a Sanjin Yasha. He probably needs, I've seen Blink Dagger on Lifesteal work out pretty well, and long term, I still stand by it. It's a weird item build-up, but the Lifestealer needs a BKB this game.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I have a built-in 6 seconds, and at the very least another 5, so that's 11 seconds of invulnerability towards this magic damage, of which there is a lot. So it is weird, but like you said in the previous game, Dota is a game of circumstance, and that really depends on the items you're going to build. JC, though, in some trouble. Hey, Silence is a skill. He's got it now, and they'll be able to bring him down. ADR finds the kill. He's got phased drums as he looks for his next item.
The Silence is actually dispelled. He could have tried to reality somewhere. Not sure if, showing up somewhere else with 100 HP is any better than right then, but it's the Lifestealer getting the kill on him, so I would actually feel better about throwing your life away to maybe like the Visage.
Yeah, all right. King Grand, and Grand's going to run into the big bad bird right now. There's the Ravage, but still, do they have it in the tank? They don't. Another Ravage, and Grant will just go down. This is the snowball potential of the Lash. Can he get another? He might. Yes, he does. It's the double kill. He will go down, but you got, like...
denied to neutrals?
That would have just been like, utterly ridiculous. Like, if this was a pub, you'd be all chatting, like, just leave right now if you were this
You would pause the game right
then. Oh, that was a pause for sure. I'm surprised it wasn't already.
Shoot.
Nah, I mean, Chicken MC's in this game, dude. Like, he will pause.
Big Bad Bird's so mannered.
Yeah, he is, but...
This guy must have been just to the captain. He's like, pick me Lesh. You'll see what happens. It's just like, this is absolutely impressive. Like, I've seen Lesh work, but on the back of his supports. Lesh as a core, generally speaking, is so reliant on supports to do a ton of work for him to actually be viable. But in this case, he's pretty much just making it a one-man show.
Yeah, I mean, he goes for the Atos, which I guess is securing him some more kills here, but imagine had he gone for the Bloodstone. He's killed so many people. Maybe we'll see him work back towards it, but it's the Ogre Club now, another 1,100 in the bank. So we'll see in another 500 if we'll go for the Missile or Hammer. That'll let us know it's going to be a BKB. If he goes for anything else, probably going to be that Aghanim Scepter.
He needs a BKB this game. You're up against Ravage, you're up against the Death Prophet Silence even is quite frustrating. Skywrath Silence. You cannot possibly go Aghanims without picking up a Force, a Yules, or a BKB.
Tell Ogre that. Ogre's pretty close already.
Okay, well, that's Ogre. That's a completely different situation. Man, this
basically
is,
the same hero.
Yeah, pretty much. You just look at the base stats, and you're like, okay, they just copied the same guy. It's just
laziness.
Frustrating to see such low variability in our game of Dota 2.
Yeah, all right. Well, we got Grant. He's trying to redeem himself. 2 Ravages and 2 deaths for himself.
He's gone! Seriously?
That was a long TP, too.
They could have just walked right to him. Did they pop drums?
Looks like it on cooldown here for another 20 seconds. Middle lane. Oh, Chicken MC going in for this onto King Grand. There's the Exorcism going off. Chicken MC's like, all right, peace. You use that. That's 145 seconds on cooldown. Yeah, that's the second time he's done that with haste. Just run in and then run out.
He can go right back onto the tower. I mean, against Exorcism, he's like, okay, well, now I'm going to multicast you. And with the Vision, the Haunt, they can.
There's a Ravage in 5. So far, they haven't been successful. Can Grant find a good one? TP's coming in. That's ADR. This is, well, everyone here being drawn to the mid lane. And Root's like, well, lol, peace. Your boy JC is going to continue to farm up in the bottom lane. And he does go for that early involvement build, the phase, the Urn of Shadows. He has a Bracer. We'll see if he goes for it. I mean, goes for the drums off of that Bracer or just leaves it there, seeing what the next item might be. I mean, we've seen the SNY, we've seen the Manson next. Also, of course, the Radiance, still very popular. What do you expect?
That's a tough one. If this was 6.81, I'd say Diffuser Blade would be really strong, but in this case, it's just not going to work towards him.
Oh, the big bad bird. There's the silence. He did get off the edict, though. Will it be enough to bring down? Oh, the swap out. Big bad bird's still pretty low. ADR working on him. He gets off a Pulse Nova, it looks like. Grant will go down here. King RD rotating over, though, but let's keep in mind, no Exorcism, so there's really not a whole lot of team fight left. Chicken MC might be forced to run away, but now your boy JC is going to go back in. Three-time multicast. He just won the lotto. Visage resting in pieces right now, and ADR, he's to get to the creep. It looks like a Crypt Swarm will bring down the Venge. ADR, the negative earn charges, the Ignite. He will die all the way in the safety of his Tier 1 tower. He falls. And, well, that was pretty good. The best we've seen Pain Gaming put up a fight so far. They bring down the Lesh. That's his third death right now. Yes, he's working towards the BKB. Once that's up, good luck. But that's 2 for 4. And now the Aghanims is here for Ogre Magi.
Yeah. So they're just taking it away without the Chain Frost. Once those come into play, it'll be another factor they have to deal with. But for now, Static has been, well, static in his methodology. He's farming up. He's looking for a mechanism. And when that comes out, that's when he looks to get active. Down bottom, though, Big Bad Bird bringing down King RD low down to 50 HP. It's going to be the death of the sky, but can Grant even stop him? No! Joe with the save once again. Back-to-backs, Nether Swaps, keeping him up. And it's going to be, yeah, the Spectre to finish off King RD.
I'm talking about that earn charge. Using it offensively there as well as the dispersion will bring him down. And now they know Grent's all alone down here. Jaw's going to go in. The Big Bad Bird has healed up. TP's coming in, but doesn't matter. The Pulse Nova's here. ADR once again involved. He might find the kill on the Big Bad Bird, and he actually will. He's raged up. Can he battle out Chicken MC? No. 2 times multicast. It's the double kill. Your boy JC gets in close for those earn charges. Even lends a dagger. It's 20-8 right now, and Root Gaming looking really, really good. Already probably going to be 7,000, nearing 10,000 ahead in those golden XP graphs.
Yeah. I love Atos as an item, but that's the one weakness of it, is you're not going to be able to kite out the rage as easily. Essentially, when the Lifesteal's rage is done, so is the hero. Like, you can't do absolutely anything after that's completed. But as it stands right now, Leshrac doesn't have a good way of waiting that out. The open wounds connects, and the right-click commence. So, will be his 4th death this game. He was 4-0-1, now 8-4-6. They've actually been able to secure quite a few key kills on him.
Yep. We'll see ADR respawning. Got the armlet. He's used most of his drum charges as well. We saw one of them kind of wasted. Big Bad Bird. Well, it's on the courier, actually. Speaking of the bird, we'll check out the bird. Where is it? Just has TP, so he's actually still a little ways off. He's been dying a bit. 8-4-6 after being like 7-1 at one point, but only about 300 gold away from that BKB. When he gets that, do you feel Root Gaming can just force out all the towers?
Bottom tower is under attack.
Or do they still have to watch out for something?
Well, we're seeing Exorcism up top. That'll take a quick and easy tier 1, but yeah, this is a game that's not automatically, like, I would not say there's a binary situation where you're like, okay, well, we're stronger, we'll push, we'll win. Like, there will be situations where the BKB will make him more powerful than anybody on the map, and that'll be great. But you've got this Exorcism Yule's combo that you have to worry about. You've got the Invest ganks with the armlet on. Like, there's still a lot of turnaround potential for Pain when they pop that Ravage. And they will be looking to pop that with most likely a Blink Dagger on the Tide. He is, however, starting on the mid lane here on Chicken MC.
Yeah, they'll look for Chicken MC first. King RD going to get involved
Yules
as well. Good Yule Scepter. That's just the pickup that King RD got. He had the Yule Scepter recently delivered. It will unveil it there on a Chicken MC. I will say, I feel like Root Gaming going to be a whole lot more powerful when the BKB is up. If they can force out either the Ravage or the Exorcism and kind of just disengage, which they've managed to do many times this game, then I feel like they've definitely got just like push in. But if they're both up, then it can be maybe difficult. Jaw here in the middle lane. He's had some really big saves. He's going to have to use another one here maybe, or just swap ADR back. There's creeps there, though, so he can just infest, and he will.
Infest dodge.
And the bird's going to come into an effect, slowing him down a little bit. We'll check in with Visage. 1,500 gold, Tranquil's Medallion of Courage. We'll probably be looking towards that Aghanim Scepter next. In terms of farm, 25, so he hasn't really been finding like that much space in the jungle or anything like that with his birds newly acquired.
I think this Lesh theoretically is unstoppable the way he is playing right now, and the aspect of course, he has this level advantage of level 14 against a lot of like level 8 supports and stuff like that. He has the BKB plus ice armor, which makes it very difficult to bring him down magically or physically, and he has the mech behind him. So, I mean, all these factors make it seem like he cannot be stopped, but Grant did pick up the Blink Dagger. He will hide it on the Courier for as long as necessary, or maybe he'll pick it up right now. Yeah, I did. But anyways, he's going to look for a Blink Ravage, and there's so many times where we've seen, although theoretically the Ravage shouldn't be that great because of BKBs, that the Tide jumps in when they least expect it and actually get the Ravage off before the BKB comes out. And then the Soul Assumption, the Skywrath nukes, they don't have an answer to that other than the Nether Swap.
They live in smoke up here. The Die are just going to put down a ward, but this will miss the smoke. Oh, King RD will break. They know he's there, but they don't really react to that. And Jaw's going to get picked off. Static going to get picked off as well. He's got the mech. Won't even find the time to use it there. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. That's an extra system thrown out. Maybe expecting some counter initiation, but there is none. And that's about 1,600 for the gold change there. 2,500 experience in favor of Pain Gaming. Meanwhile, push in the middle lane. And this is where things get dicey. Like, we saw Leshruck snowballing out of control, looking so ridiculous, so good. But now that they've been set back a little bit, you get a little worried.
I like, by the way, that the Leshrac only put 1 point in his Pulse Nova for this stage of the game. Right now he's level 14, could obviously have 2 points in it, but if you look at the mana per second on that ability, it doubles while only giving you a 30% increase in damage output. So essentially it's more efficient for the first 2 seconds or so because it only costs 90 to activate initially, but after like 2 or 3 seconds he starts weighing on you and he just doesn't have the mana sustainability. He needs something with a Void Stone to make that work for him.
Yeah, maybe if he'd gone Bloodstone BKB and managed to keep up his charges, he definitely could have put the second point in it, but with that BKB, definitely hurts him a little bit. Though continuing to farm well, 1,200 in the bank. Spectre as well. I saw the Radiance has come out, or not the Radiance, sorry, the Relic has come out, although only about 500 gold away from finishing the entire Radiance. So, although the 4 support 1 carry here for Root, seems like it could maybe falter if they continue to get set back. The fact that your boy JC is going to have a well-timed Radiance, and Static, they'll find him with the Infest. No problem. ADR.
Oh, they didn't. I don't think they saw the stack here. Night Vision. The Leshrac stun won't connect, but I don't think they really caught wind of that Ancient stack. It's going to be Visage in the mid lane, barely surviving, but the Ignite will take him down. At least he gets a quick revenge as the Ogre falls with him.
Yeah, so Root losing 2 across the map there. Only the Visage for Pain to go down, so they are definitely catching up in the kills overall, 13 to 21. But let's check out the graphs. To really go, oh yes, they've done well. Pain Gaming, they've almost got the gold graph. It was about 7,000 advantage for Root. It's back to equilibrium just about, and the same story on experience. So Pain Gaming, they're definitely back into this game. They've even got it a little bit under control now that they've got the Blink Ravage. They've been using their exorcisms a lot better. ADR's got a Sange, so it looks like he will be going Race Car, Phase Drums, SNY. He's got the armlets on top of that as well. VSW on the Sky, still with nothing. Blink there on the Tide, as we talked about. Yule Scepter, and now working towards the BKB on Death Prophet. Going to be a lot harder to bring her down quickly. Will be immune to a lot of that Lesh damage, and that's sort of a wall you hit. Like, Lesh got his BKB, wasn't able to do anything with it. Hasn't even used it. But now that the BKBs are here for Pain, Leshrac falls off pretty hard.
Yeah, he is very well nullified by that item pickup, and that's why I've been stressing it so much for Lifestealer for probably a 4th or 5th item pickup here. But at the same time, although Pain is really coming into their own in the last couple fights, they need to keep it that way. These next 2 or 3 fights will decide the game for them. If they don't dominate them, the Spectre is just going to explode. She has her Sacred Relic, she almost has the Radiance, and although it's a little slow compared to like the hyper-farming professional standards, you have to remember the Spectre started in the off lane, and she built up a very nice core of Urn, Bracer, and Phase Booth before she even considered to look at that Radiance. So yeah, I have to say that although things are looking up for Pain, if they don't keep going that way, it's still going to be the Spectre show.
Yeah, or at least try to disrupt Spectre and gank her a couple times. Turn that gank into an objective if you can, whether it be a tower, whether it be Roche. But yeah, Spectre is definitely the force to reckon with in this game. There's 100 gold, and the Radiance is going to be here, so maybe 25.5 minutes is when it gets delivered. Roshan is available and for the taking. I feel like Pain have the better, they definitely have the better Roshan killing team if they put the exorcism towards it, so we haven't really seen Root try to work that slight dire advantage in the Roche pit at all. And the SNY now are going to be done for ADR.
Yeah, this is a good core. I mean, right now he's got the movement speed advantage just completely, and obviously Leshrac is a hero that is limited by that capacity entirely. I don't know. I mean, right now Jaw's got the Nether Swap rank 2 available, so that's going to be a good defensive play to break down the Chain of Initiation from Pain. I mean, they're not going to be able to get Mystic Flare on anybody easy. And also there is a 4-staff in the works for the Leshrac very soon. So I would have to say this is Pain Gaming's time. They've got level 16 on the Death Prophet. They've got the Blink on Tide, Sanjin Yasha, some BKBs. They need to make the most of it pretty much now, because obviously that Spectre has just picked up the Radiance and it's farming down bottom.
Yeah, if they can surprise Leshrac, like think about the Blink Ravage Nake's Bomb, if they can get that off before the BKB comes out from Lash. If you take down the Lash, like where's your damage on route? Maybe pending a good Chain Frost, like there isn't much. Multicast I guess is okay, but I don't know, Lash is the one really, really pumping out the AoE damage. The Radiance I guess will help over time, but I don't know. If you can't stay in the team fight, then you can't keep that Radiance burn up.
They're just going to force it. No Ice Armor on the tower here. Lich doesn't get an opportunity to put it there, and that is just going to be a very quick death of the Tier 1 after the fortification. But do they go Tier 2? I feel they really should, and they seem to agree.
All right, there's the Exorcism, and obviously that Fortify was refreshed, so they've got another one here for the Tier 2 if they want to use it. And I'm sure they will, but what can they even defend with? I guess maybe Spectre goes. If Spectre haunts to start the, and they find, like, with that vision, they can initiate very well. I mean, the Blink Daggers will be disabled by the Radiance. So that's maybe what they want to do, and here they will. That Blink Dagger being disabled, ADR tries to jump, but will find nothing. Actually, really, neither team finds anything. Big Bad Bird wants to continue to give chase on
Lifestealer is
ADR.
in such a bad spot.
The Atos, he's separated from his team, but it looks like he'll be able to regroup. And now Tide's able to blink in. We'll find it on actually three heroes. The Mystic Flare. Chicken MC will be brought down. Chain Frost going out from Static. He needs to use that mechanism before going down. Won't be able to. The Soul Assumption brings him down. The BKB here for the Big Bad Bird. That's your 10-second charge, and they bring him down. Your boy JC now going to get involved on to the killing spree. Root Gaming has lost 3. Make that 4 if they can find Ja here. He's ringing around the rosy very low. He cannot juke the Crib Swarm. Now your boy JC wants to go back in, trying to find Baga. He's being slowed down quite heavily, but it doesn't matter. He'll find the double kill, making it a 4-4-3, and he'll have to back off. So they kill everyone en route, and it's fantastic. They also take down the middle tier 1 tower. Pain Gaming don't lose much either. Their 2 core heroes survive, but Spectre does get a lot out of that engagement.
Yeah, she profits 860 gold off the back of that. It was still really good engagement for Pain. Excellent Ravage, but they're never going to feel confident with the Spectre just getting farm after each engage. She has 3,000 gold after that. I mean, it's nice when you get a little bit of 900 gold edge in the right direction, but it's still very impressive how well your boy JC has been able to farm across the map while participating in the fights. It's what a Spectre does. I mean, just goes ahead. You can be anywhere you want to be unless you're up against a Disruptor, and then you haunt and you're in the fray. And that's obviously something that she can time to do after Ravages come through. Wait for the Ravage, then use the haunt, and you should be able to make a huge contribution. Lifestealer.
Oh, they're going to find her. Meanwhile, the rest of Root is trying to smoke up as they all respawn at the same time. Will Spectre be able to get out of this, though? The team is rapidly approaching, but your boy JC, he gets up to the hill, got the dagger off before the silence came in. Now the rest of the team is here looking for King RD. He's going to have the BKB up right now. They've got nothing to hold him to go through that spell immunity. Meanwhile, that was looking towards the Venge there. Lesh will just narrowly miss the Split Earth. Now the ultimate comes out here from your boy JC. He's healed up. He'll go back in. 2 heroes going to drop. Your boy JC onto the Mega Kill streak as he looks towards Baga. Baga with the birds, with the stuns. It's not enough. The Radiance Burn is just there, and your boy JC picking up another one. That's the double kill, and I think with that, they transition into the Roche Pit. No problem. Even an Invis rune waiting for them afterwards.
Yeah, this is a time where finally Pain have both the Ravage and the Exorcism up for the same fight, but the Spectre, unfortunately the Death Prophet is dead for 45 seconds, so no contest here. Root will be taking the Aegis the Immortal, most likely putting it on the Spectre. There is some validity in the fact that Spectre's second life is stronger if she buys back, because she can just haunt in, but
Big smash.
I don't know. I like Aegis on Leshrac more, but I think they're going to put it on the Spectre. Oh wait, she just filled their slot? No, I might be right on this.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Like, Spectre already has shown she's got the ability to get in and out of the fight. There's one Ravage. They're looking for the Nake's Bomb. Big Bad Bird needs to get off of force, and then maybe the BKB. There's the swap. Grant will fall first. Static, though, has died. That's the Lich down. Now Leshrac is going to drop. ADR will bring him down. The swap has been used. He's got Rage TP. Doesn't have a TP, so he's got Rage. And he's
Baga should check
running.
the
He
pit
is
right here.
pretty
Baga might be able to
fast.
snipe Roche. Oh, just check it out, man. It's only 1,000 HP. They could totally do it. King RD's on his way. They're going in. The Observer Ward vision will show it, but they're occupied with 40R. He's going on to your boy JC. 2 right clicks needed. 0 will be allowed with a triple multicast. But quick exorcism, quick Aegis, and they will get out with that. So in the end, a very successful team fight for Root, and both the Ravage and Exorcism are expended, but they don't get the Aegis. Fortunately, it's not too necessary for them to take the next fight, but it is something they were looking for and will be denied.
Yeah, ADR was obviously running really deep into enemy territory, trying to escape. And hey, at least him running away allows his team to get that Roche, get that Aegis. But you saw, well, you were looking at the Roche. I saw, and the viewers saw mainly, Lifestealer almost obliterating Spectre. Like, Spectre cannot 1v1 the Lifestealer, not even close. He will be brought down. He needs help from his allies. Luckily, he had it. ADR will drop against Spectre. Benefits a lot from that. The XP, the gold from that kill is nice. He's level 19 right now, tied for the highest in the game. He's doing well. He's third in net worth, first for his team. He's got the Reaver up, and he's looking for the Heart. Not the best item for sustain against a Lifestealer just because of the way Feast works, but will still definitely help.
Yeah, he's actually gonna go ahead and haunt down bottom. Just an easy kill here onto the Skywrath. I mean, what can you do? And this is just quick 2-minute cooldown expended because he knows they're not willing to fight for at least a minute, minute and a half. So actually a nice little call there. Your boy JC getting a little bit of extra gold and will be able to finish up that heart. Now, as far as being able to 1v1 a Lifestealer, that's the cool thing for Root is that that's not the Spectre's job. Doesn't care about 1v1 man fights against Lifestealer when he's doing the damage that he does to the entire team via Haunt, via the Desolate that comes out of the Haunt illusions, and through Radiance and Dispersion. He's doing so much insane damage to everybody but the Lifestealer that the Lifestealer can do whatever he wants as long as they wait out the rage, they can manage him. And that's what they did, obviously, in the mid lane there. Now, as you mentioned, the Heart is not going to be ideal against the Feast. But one cool thing is that Feast is physical damage, and the Ice Armor is going to start getting ranked up from this point forward. Lich actually did max out Sacrifice, and as such is kind of digging his way out of the level 11 to level 12 experience trench, and now he's going to be able to start getting those valuable points to help the Spectre mitigate further.
Yeah, maybe he can get off his Mac as well. Static has been focusing on getting a good Chain Frost and has been getting blown up quite quickly in the fights. So could get that that heal, obviously some bonus armor as well. We'll see what he continues to do and what his items will be. He still has the mech and brown boots, not much else coming from that. As Jaw, his swaps have been on point, have turned a lot of things around for Root Gaming in these engagements. He's going for the Acceptor to make it basically your entire screen plus a little bit more. And in terms of range, on another swap 3, he is about 3/4 of the way there. So that will be a reality this game. Meanwhile, bottom, we see Pain Gaming grouping up, really out forward. He's like, please, please, don't run into anybody. Don't run into anybody. And look at that really good Radiant Ward out on that Roshan cliff.
Radiant's top tower is under
But
attack.
yeah, I think the most important part of the Venge Aghanims is the 10-second cooldown. You saw how valuable it was pulling the Ogre out of a bad position, but then they didn't have any way of kiting away from the Lifestealer, and the Leshrac did fall. If you get that on a 10-second cooldown, and you live through the initial volley with your first swap, then you get so much value just pulling people out of bad position after bad position, and it finally gives them the swap tool they need against this otherwise immune hero.
Dire's structures are fortified.
All right, 31-20. We'll take a quick look at the graphs as we see King RD pushing out the bottom lane. So it almost touched equilibrium. Now it's going back in favor of Root. Root Gaming, they did cross the threshold there as Pain led for about a minute. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less in experience, but now going out towards Pain Gaming, and the graphs pretty much at this point do not matter as they are that close, approaching 35 minutes. So 34 minutes in, Death Prophet, the net worth leader. Where do we go from here?
I think right back down. I think Root is going to be able to pull back a very significant amount of golden experience unless the next team fight from Pain is immaculate. They do have a smoke up here on the Skywrath, on the Visage, on the Tide, and they are actually baiting really heavily with this Heart Death Prophet. But at least for now, he's still got that Aegis. Maybe looking to save the Exorcism for round 2. In either case, they don't know the Tide's current position. If they don't pull off this fight masterfully, Root will just skyrocket in their actual effective advantage in this game. Tier 2 will fall quite easily, though. They're not looking to defend that one. And it is also worth noting that if Spectre haunts into the fight, she's not going to get the ice armor, which I think is actually really important against the damage sources, the Exorcism and the Lifestealer.
They need Lich to get that Blink Dagger so he can stand by the spec. And then, like, I don't know. It depends how close Spectre is when she ults. Obviously, it's global, and right now he's farming up way over here on the western camp in his own jungle. But maybe if it's close enough, you can do the Ice Armor, then Spectre can go in, then you can blink in and throw the Chain Frost. I don't know. I mean, Lich might not even see another item. If he does, what do you want Static to go here?
I think of Vlad's is not out of the question. Oh wait, they do have one on the Ogre, so that's not necessary whatsoever. And he's actually going to go for AC too. I love the aura build up from Chicken MC here, just enhancing the armor of his team, and with the Ice Armor on top, like they'll be dealing with all that damage very nicely. As far as the Lich goes, I mean, he could look for a Force Staff. I think that is still going to be the extra piece to the puzzle to allow them to really just run circles around this Lifestealer. They're already starting to manage kiting his 6-second rage quite effectively, but if they add in just one more annoyance so that he just can't stay on target, then suddenly this Lifestealer is useless.
He does almost have an Abyssal, though, so maybe if the Lifestealer gets started off with the true aggression, they can find a pick-off on somebody, but it's going to be hard. Like, if you find a pick-off, it's just going to be on one of these four that we see smoked up. It won't be Spectre, because Spectre's just farming up top. There's no problem. They're trying to bring down these birds very quickly. The Edict helping out a little bit there. Pushing the creep wave. I hear that Infest. It's got to be inside the Tidehunter, and it is. And the Blink Dagger available. Obviously, we've seen it disabled a couple times by the Spectre coming in at the right time with that Haunt, that Radiance Burn. Probably aggravating Grent. That's he's 0 and 9. He's had a rough game.
Yeah. Gotta mention the 13 assists, dude. Can't
That's
mention
true.
KD
That's true.
without the A.
He's got a positive KDA. But it never feels good to be 0 and 9, regardless of... maybe if you got like 40 assists, you're like, yeah, what's up? But I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, you just pulled out like a flaming stat. You're like, oh man, this guy's 0 and 9. What kind of a
it's
noob?
just one game,
You always forget the assists, dude. Like, his entire team has no more than 5 assists on each hero. This guy has been giving it to every hero that maybe may or may not have deserved it. The Grant has been setting up a lot of kills, and you gotta give him some respect. He's working towards a refresh orb. He's working hard day in and day out, and you better show respect. But Spectre is going to be dominating all over them in a short time span. That's a ticking time bomb.
Also, 13 assists on the Spectre. 13 assists. What's up?
Value. Yeah, because you're
and
going
7
to
kills.
see more plays.
And 7 kills. So doing
So
better
much-
than Tide.
So much praise for the #1 position spotlight carry that is winning them the game.
Hey man, Tide's a good hero. First ban out most of the time in a lot of regions. So come on. No, obviously not flaming Grent, but game slowing down a little bit. I mean, Pain Gaming, they need to find a pickoff on the Spectre. We'll flip it over to buybacks. Spectre has it. Leshrac has it. And Grent here also has it. So 3 buybacks available, 2 of them for Root. Who's orange? That's Lifestealer. Maybe he can Abyssal Blade up your boy JC. He doesn't have... I mean, this guy needs a lot of items. Like, we talked about it. We want to see him with a Blink. We want to see him with a BKB. He's got the Abyssal now, but he's going to need more if he wants to catch up. And they'll actually get Vision on him now, but the real... Ooh, was that a TP out? Did Sky just TP out of that?
Sky Mystic flared the Avenge. She just walks out of it and is looking to swap as soon as the silence ends. But the TP, it's just 0.1 seconds faster than the silence concluding, and he is able to sneak out right before Spectre finishes him off.
All right, sorry, dealing with some stuff. Behind
Your boy
the
JC
scenes.
gonna take a lot of damage here. Look at that feast! Oh my gosh, the Abyssal will come out. Your boy JC does not want a 1v1 fight here, but the last bash, I thought he had vision. He tried to go for the AoE because he thought he was in the trees already, but he actually lucked out. He could have gone for one more right click and then the infest, and that would have been a kill. But he assumed he didn't have the luck with him. He just tried to go for what would have been the better play, assuming no bash. And as a result, I think he misses out on a sure kill.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, we see he's obviously got the tools to get it. As long as he can get in range of that Spectre, start off with the Abyssal Blade, and then actually get all the right clicks. Oh, Chicken MC. Let's not forget, if anyone's just joining us, this was not a support ogre. Look at this guy's items, and I love that he goes for these. He's had the Vlads forever. I mean, it's cheap. He got that after the Ags. Vlads into the Assault Cure, so giving his team a plus 10 armor AoE.
Well, he has plus 27.
He alone has, what, 40?
Yeah, he has exactly 40. Jeez. And they've got Ghost Scepters on the Venge as well as the Lich, so they're not taking physical damage. Pain. They have their work cut out for them. They need this refresher so bad.
Yeah. Well, we approach 40 minutes right now. Whoa! Well, there's a refresher coming out on the tide. Grant. I mean, come on. I wasn't saying his Hero 9 is bad. I'm just saying it sucks to not get a kill, man. It feels really good to be on the board. Grant 0913. He'll get on the board with the double ravage. I'm sure of it. He'll get someone in passing in the crossfire of a tentacle. Looking for the Roche. It's back soon.
Surprisingly, net worth for Spectre hasn't been that great this game. Like, she's always been trailing the Lifestealer and the Death Prophet, despite the fact that neither of them have been ahead of her in kills. I mean, this is a Spectre with 7 kills and, as you mentioned, 13 assists, and still behind in net worth, despite having this ratings for some time here. So it just goes to show how much the gold density on this hero really makes the impact. The fact that any gold will be better on her than on any other hero in the game. Like, she is able to scale harder. She's able to just make those items do more work for her, even if quantitatively they're lower value.
All right, let's see where King Grand is. His newest item is the Shiva's Guard, ADR, obviously the Abyssal Blade, 2,700 gold saved up there. Roshan has respawned. We'll see which team realizes it first. I would think it would be the one with the birds, if Baga could scout that out. And Baga, Plate Mail, and Chainmail, so you know he's looking for the AC. Very popular item for the Visage anyways. It is a support that can find a generous amount of farm. And here they are. They're all grouped up. They're not under any vision. Well, this ward's here, but they don't quite see them. They're off the map. Are they going to look to smoke up? I don't think they even have one. No, they don't.
Smoke coming out from Pain, though.
Oh, yes, they do.
And they go right into the pit. They've got 3 familiars, they've got a medallion, and this Roche will fall very quickly, and to their benefit if the Haunt doesn't come out from the Spectre to scout it out. Now, I'm actually looking at the math on this Tide Hunter, and unless he's got like a full magic stick, I'm not so sure about this double Ravage. He skilled up Ravage to level 3 without having anything like a Force Staff or anything of the sort to increase his mana pool. So as it stands right now, it costs 650 for the double Ravage and 375 for the Refresher Orb. He's got to use both Arcane Boots, and even then he might be short.
Yeah, and no one else on his team has any to help him out. Chicken MC, Yule's up. They go on him aggressively. They will bring him down here on the back line. Static, he's kind of out of position. He can maybe throw his ult, but I don't think he will. Using the Abyssal Blade? I don't know. They really wanted to kill that Lich, I guess.
Just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be back up by the time they get there. Meanwhile, King RD trying to put that Exorcism to work, pushing down the tier 3 tower. He'll be swapped back. He'll BKB up. Jaw will throw out the Ghost Scepter. Yule's coming into play. King RD going to get nice and close for that Exorcism to do some damage. Tower will fall. That's Ravage number 1. He needs the mana boots, and he has it just enough. We'll actually save it as the target dies, and he will buy back. So Lesh and Ogre back into the fray right now. The Glyph of Fortification goes out. Very aggressive ward coming out as Pain Gaming drop it. They are the first team to break the high ground here. They've got a lot of layers to their team, whereas Root just relying on that Spectre damage. ADR, can they bring him down? I don't know. The armlet toggles and the lifesteal keeping him alive for quite a bit longer. He will drop. Second life, though. He did have the Aegis. Let's see what he can do. The bird's up. Ravage goes out, just catching 2 of the supports there on the very, very end of it. The swap out makes ADR do a little bit of a dance, but he'll find the kill. Your boy JC on the monster kill streak. Big Bad Bird trying to chase, though. He's got a Ghost Scepter as well. Now here comes out the ultimate, the creep wave. It's bouncing between the birds. Raged up, though. Lots of bounces, 0 damage. And now Jaw has to Ghost Scepter up. He'll Force Staff away. ADR being kited a little bit, but he's not feeling too bad for himself. And we might have some miscommunication. ADR off that fight finishes up an AC, but Visage almost has it as well. I don't know. I guess they can double down on Shiva's. But really, really good fight for Pain Gaming. They break the base. They force buybacks. Eventually, they lose 4, but I think they come out very far ahead after that.
Yeah, I think they need an AC sooner rather than later, so maybe the Visage can go to some alternative like the Shiva's, as you mentioned. But yeah, the Bago was not going to be able to get it at the time. They need to push in while these buybacks are still on cooldown. They've got 5.5 minutes. Leshrac and Ogre use buybacks. So they hold the high ground, but I honestly think Pain are satisfied to go in with their double Refresher Orb when that's available once more. So get a casual Mantle of Intelligence on this Tide, give them a little bit more mana to work with for an extra Anchor Smash, and you go in deep for the push once your abilities are back off cooldown. Because this is a timing. Like, if they don't take at least a single lane of racks in the next 6 minutes, then I think that they don't really have the base breaking potential from that point forward. We will see actually the Familiar scout out Leshrac. They'll just kind of walk right by. And it's worth noting these aggressive Observer Wars that are now up. We saw a really good pickoff on the Ogre previously, and now they've got these Observer Wards to make it happen again. They've got one in the base, one towards the Secret Shop. Very frequent paths at this stage in the game for the Dire.
Yeah, looking pretty good for him. There's still a tier 2 up top. We see Spectre TPing to it now to get out to farming. And although did get to the Radiance of the Heart rather quickly, since then there hasn't been too much progression, mainly because Ultimate Orb and still 5,000 in the bank right now for your boy JC, so we obviously could turn that into something. What's he going with this? Sheepstick?
Manta.
Manta?
Manta. Yeah, Manta's still really good. I mean, it's still a really powerful item on the Spectre. It can break her out of the open wounds, and theoretically there's an invulnerability frame for Manta dodging Ravage, but I don't see that happening. So, yeah, just doing her thing, getting the illusions up, and they certainly are tanky ones.
I really hope that's the first thing to happen when she gets a Manta. Just easy Ravage dodge. Probably won't
And
be.
she has a Refresher Orb and double Ravage dodges. How mad would you be?
That would
now
be
they
ridiculous.
engage.
But here we go. There's one Ravage. The second one is available right now, and he'll get it off. Big Bad Bird, though, was BKB'd up. 3 heroes for Root Gaming falls almost immediately. Your boy JC will be brought down as well. King RD with the double kill. The buyback into purchasing up the Manta. Everything got to be used right now. Will throw out the ultimate, trying to bring down... Who's he going for, actually? He'll go on to the Lifestealer, the Manta, the Desolate Damage trying to work here, but there's the Abyssal Blade active going out. Your boy JC, that's the dieback. This has to be the game right now. Not too much longer on the Exorcism, but do they need it? They've got the birds. They bring down the bottom lane of Rax. Leshrac might be the Big Bad Bird, but Baga actually has 3 of them, and they're going straight for the tier 4s right now. No buybacks for at least 20 seconds, and the only hero that matters dead for 100. This has got to be the game. Skywrath will be brought down quickly. The Big Bad Bird, he is pretty strong, showing us how strong he is. It's not enough. He was enough early, but now it's just not enough. It's 37-2-31.
How's your 0-11 Tide feeling now, man? How is your 0-11 Tide Hunter feeling now?
He's got 20. Don't just leave out his assist plays. He's got 22 assists. Come on.
Oh my gosh, what plays from the Tide. Getting the Ravages at the exact time they needed to. They found the
It's a hard hero, I mean, I'll admit.
They get the Aegis right when they need to with the smoke play. They get the pickoffs as they need to. Now carrying it up 40 yards just goes, come at me, bros. Able to bring him down, abyssaling it up. And just looking to finish it off. Technically, it's not over yet. They went for Throne instead of mid lane of Rax, and they're losing heroes. Could this be a comeback for Root? They're not taking the Throne just yet. King RD is all by himself here. BKB Pal Familiar is going to town, but they're out of charges. Ice Armor on the Throne. And King RD is in retreat. The Throne is still alive. This game is still on.
Wow. That's, I mean, I feel like ADR, like, yeah, he was pretty low. I think he was only attacking people, trying to lifesteal up. But doesn't work out. He could have maybe just hit the Ancient a couple more times. And that's a glorious increase in win potential here as I look at the Spirit Breaker effigy from the Big Bad Bird.
From 0% to something.
To 0% to like maybe some, yeah. But hey, Spectre will respawn.
Double Ravage, which is a pain in the ass. I mean, that's still going to be a game breaker when it comes down to the late game, no matter the case. We've obviously clearly seen it. And the fact that the Leshrac is down to 6 seconds on his BKB means it's very hard for him to do much with his first life. Checking the buyback status, and I think this will be extremely relevant, is not only does the Lifestealer have it available, but most of his opponents do not. The Ogre is going to have it in 1,200 gold and 1 minute and 15 seconds. Not whichever comes first, he needs both. But the Leshrac as well has to wait out a minute extra. If they don't have those buybacks, there's no way they can survive, because this double Ravage has obviously proven itself.
All right, yeah, so like I said a little bit earlier, Lifestealer went for the AC. He's finished that up. Baga was on his way towards it, but now we'll just go towards the Shiva's Guard, which they've doubled up on, which is never really that bad. Baga and the Death Prophet here, King RD, just going to be layering up the fight with those Arctic Blasts, slowing that attack speed, doing a little bit of damage. But the Refresher comes out now for the Death Prophet, and if they had this on the last push, definitely would have been game over. The double Exorcism and the double Ravage both are available right now. Seems like maybe a little bit too much to deal with. Leshrac's going to have the BKB TP out of that one.
And that's down to 5. 5 seconds remain for the Leshrac here. Now, it is worth noting to the viewers that don't know how Refresher works on Death Prophet, if you pop it twice in a row, it's not going to do anything.
One
You
ult
wait
at
until
a
you're
time.
You first pop your first exorcism, wait for it to expire, and then pop your second one. You get some nice healing, and then you go in for another engage.
Oh, they're going to find somebody as well. It's the big bad bird. His BKB still on cooldown. He'll force that back into the base. Maybe it was all the bait. The multicast coming out on King RD here. He's finally able to BKB up. There's one Ravage from Grent. Throw your boy JC in the thick of it right next to the exorcism. He'll Manta up. Can he survive? He's got the Talisman of Evasion. That's going to help maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's being chased completely away here by ADR. Who dies for Pain Gaming? It's just the two supports right now. Not going to be helping much with the push.
Oh,
the positive arm charge. And he will dodge out some of that exorcism damage. Your boy JC actually going to get the double kill as he's in retreat. And now Jaw in some trouble. Will swap out, putting Ogre in the line of fire. He might want to think twice about this, and I think Jaw's going to go down here. No, the multicast 4 times! Can you ask for more RNG? Chicken MC will bring down the Lifestealer with the 4 times multi. It's 43-33, and they still hold on. Let's look at the throne. Still below a quarter HP.
Yeah, but it's getting there. It's healing up, and soon enough, I think Pain are going to start being desperate for all-in plays. Like, they've won these fights to a decent extent, but if Root keep holding and keep forcing them back, that Throne's going to be at full HP, and Pain are going to get desperate. We're talking BOTs to Familiars. We're talking BOT buyback on Lifestealer for engagements. Like, they really need to spread out their global potential, because right now it's all Blinks and Force Staffs to try to get across the map, but obviously, it's the defender's advantage, where they have more time to rally their troops, get the buybacks up and available, and in this case, just take a fight on the fact that the Leshrac luckily was able to force after the high ground. He got caught out, but Chicken MC multicasts away, and he's able to force back home to engage on his terms. So, overall, a really tough fight, but the fact that the Spectre actually lived through that with, like, less than, I would say 5% HP, and was actually able to get a second kill on the Tide as he was hiding through the trees. The Radiance ticked him down. It's just making it so they actually do have a chance in this game. I mean, Spectre, you never got to count it out in late game, and here it is, 51 minutes in, still doing work. Grent, the target of choice here. Do they get the blink on cooldown? No. He will slip away.
Oh, there we go. Bringing down the Skywrath. Is that Jaw by himself?
We'll check the fight recap. It is him solo. 1,500 damage from this guy. Wow. 1 Wave of Terror, 1 Magic Missile, and a hell of a lot of right clicks, and down he goes.
That was pretty ridiculous.
He's got 0 armor, or 2 armor, so when you bring him in -6, it's going to be some pretty big hits from a hero that actually scales a lot harder than people realize. Agi gain is at 2.8 for Vengeful Spirit. Obviously, that's enhanced by 36% from her aura. So, end of the day, you have -4 armor, and she's hitting for over 200. It'll bring you down pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true. Vengeful Spirit does do a lot of damage. Heaven's Halberd, though, is the pickup here. So I saw the Talisman of Evasion, thought it might be going towards a Butterfly, but it will be a Heaven's Halberd, that 30-second disarm. Going to try to deal with the Lifestealer a little bit more. His right click is definitely stronger than that of the Spectres right now. Probably still losing those 1v1 battles is Spectre. It's close maybe with the Manta. Hard to tell. It depends if he Abyssal Blades an Illusion or if he will actually Abyssal Blade your boy JC. But the Heaven's Halberd is there. There's another 1,500 gold already for your boy JC. I feel like he needs to get up towards a refresher on that Spectre as well to match the refreshers there of both the Death Prophet and, of course, the Tidehunter. That's had his for a while.
Definitely would agree with that. I'm not sure if he'll be able to manage it and get buyback, though, as his is cooling down, has cooled down now. He's going to want to farm the buyback first and foremost. Top tower is actually, look at this wave up on the top lane. When the
a lot of
game
creeps,
gets an hour long, you just see, you know, the range creeps got a few bench warmers off their seats, and they're going to come out to the battlefield as well.
Yeah, actually, the 2 siege creeps, too. Tower might potentially go down. I believe it's 45 minutes when it starts spawning 2 siege creeps.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah, so game gets a little hard. Demon Edge dropped to pick up an Aegis and swapped out! Jaw grabs the Demon Edge!
Though. He has buyback.
I don't know how big of a deal that really is, but it's still a sick play as he goes in for the steal. I mean, taking away 2,400.
He wasn't going to be using that anyways, is the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he feels alright about it.
We'll see. Obviously, it comes down to whether or not he dies too quickly in the fight, but so far he's been pulling out some amazing swaps, and if he can get a second one off without dying, I don't know. Mask of Madness comes out. YOLO.
There's the Yule Scepter onto the Ogre first and foremost. They'll silence him up. Here they go. Maybe Pain Gaming looking a bit desperate as they still try to work just onto the Ancient. The Chain Frost will go out. ADR locked in the trees working on an Illusion. Let's find the Spectre, though. She is chasing King RD down. Silenced up in the Mystic Flare. Will Manta. There's one Ravage. They won't find the second. Your boy JC will go down, and he can't use his ultimate to get into the fray, but he will buy back. The big bad bird doing a lot. He's a Leshrac. He's putting the game on his back if he can. He's got to run away, though. There's a lot of damage. Arcane Bolt now this slow. ADR will cut him off, and he will drop. VSW actually going to get that. Now the Exorcism. This is refreshed. He throws out another Exorcism, another BKB, Chicken MC, and your boy JC. They do rhyme rather nicely. The Ogre's going to fall. Your boy JC being focused down. There's that Heaven's Halberd being a bit annoying. The stun will land on ADR. Can they bring him down, though? He starts to get in those right clicks. They will, but that's just one life now. Spectral Dagger. He'll be able to walk over the hill. Big Bad Bird gets himself up on the high ground, though. This is not a good place to be, and he will go down. He's dead for 2 minutes. Spectre, the only one alive. Force Staff just didn't go quite far enough, I guess, and it looks like this could be the end of the game, guys. The Fortify will go out here as the effigies just watch. They won't be focused. You'll Scepter up by Spectre. We don't care about you. This will end the game. Throne to explode. The applause.
WP. That was a hell of a one, honestly. Like, I honestly think there was some real potential for Root to take it back, but that pick-off there, I don't know. It's just like they keep on finding opportunities to go in and make the fight happen exactly as they want to. The Lich cast a Chain Frost against, I would say, about 25 creeps and 5 heroes, and from 3 familiars. Like, I don't see how the Lich was supposed to perform in the late game other than being the Ice Armor steroid. It just, they didn't have it in them. The late game team fight is not what this team was about. The Leshrac game momentum, the Spectre carries it on his back, and that's it. They didn't have control. They didn't have a Magnus or a Tide, and what a tide that was. Grant XD, 113 and 25, but he won my heart, that's for sure.
Yep, just again, showing how good the refresher is on Tide here. The Watermelon for the Watermelon. So congrats here to Pain Gaming. I actually want to look at their stats going into this. They were 1 and 2, so this will even them out here. 2 and 2. They're going to be sitting in 4th place. Not today. Sorry, that's not the team that's playing. Root Gaming. They were 0 and 2 going into this, and they will leave 0 and 3. Although definitely, I mean, every team in here able to put up a fight against one another. The real question, though, EG. I mean, obviously they're over in Sweden right now playing in Dream League. When they get back, they're going to have a lot of Starladder games to cover, and obviously, I think anything less than undefeated will probably be not up to par for Evil Geniuses and what they expect. So we'll see what they bring. But that's it for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of Starladder Season 11. Big shout out to Beyond the Summit for having us on. I'm Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at HeliumBrella. Blaze here at Blaze Casting. They're in the top right and the stream title. Blaze, any final words?
Nah, man. Shout out to NA Dota, SA Dota, and to some amazing games here. It might be a little bit more flash than it is like really, really dedicated Dota, but at the same time, you got to go for those big plays. And when you see them work, it's incredible. But yeah, Root, they still got to build up their force here, whether with these team members or if they're just standing in. Then obviously go back to what works for them. But no matter the case, stay strong, guys, because this was a hell of a game.
All right, well, I'm going to cast Counter-Strike Global Offensive now, so if you want to find out where, follow me on Twitter and watch me embarrass myself. Thanks for joining me, Blaze. See you next time.